Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go through my at-home Muay Thai routine. I usually do some kind of a variation of this on my own when I'm feeling in the mood to do this sort of exercise. It's probably my preferred method of cardio. We're going to start with 5 minutes of jump rope at the bell. If you want to follow along, you are more than welcome to do so. If not, sit back and enjoy me jumping rope for the next 5 minutes. and with that, we're on to the abs. It's about a 3-minute long core workout. If you're following along, feel free to take this time to catch your breath. I know I was at this point, so it's a good time to do it. Just rolling out my wrists here because the hand reps are a little tighter than I would have liked, so I'm just trying to loosen up. But in a minute here, I'm going to hop down and start doing some planks. It's 1 minute of planks, followed up with, I believe, 30 suitcases. You'll see what those look like after the planks, if you'd like to follow along. And then 30 bicycles after that. And then after the ab routine, we're going to work into some stretching. So again, just a minute of planks here, suitcases after that, and bicycles after that. 30 suitcases, 30 bicycles, if you'd like to follow along. And about 10 seconds rest in between each exercise. All right, now that we're done with the warm-up, it's time to get into some stretching. So first, here I'm going to reach the sky, about 10 to 15 seconds on every stretch. Here I'm reaching the sky and I'm pushing my hands actually behind my head and reaching as far as I can. And then you're going to take your elbows and you're going to drag them to the ground, really focusing on the lat pull here. And again, still pushing your arms, almost like you're trying to push them behind. And just some shoulder rolls, about 5 frontwards and then 5 reverse. All right, and then I'm just taking some time here to loosen up my neck. I think I was just feeling a little tight So just wanted to feel a little bit more loose. Here, this is a good rotator cuff stretch. Not sure what this is actually called, but highly recommend it. You want to really keep your arms parallel to the floor as much as you can, and then focus on rotating your shoulders. You're not really pulling your hand, you're really focusing on the shoulder rotation itself. And then here, just loosening out my arms again, just crossovers, body crossovers, and then try to throw your arms back as far as you can. Then we're just going to touch our toes again. Actually here I do a dynamic toe touch. I think I was just feeling super tight, and this seemed to help the last time I worked out. So about 15 of these, trying to go deeper and deeper every time. And then 15 seconds here of touching the floor. All right, bring it back up. And then we're going to do shoulder width apart, 10 seconds to the center, and then 10 seconds on each side of the legs, so left and right respectively. There, and then switch. All right. And then here we're going to pull our heel to our butt. I find that this one, if you try to actually fight pulling your heel to your butt and bringing your knee forward and sort of fight that motion, you get a much better quad stretch than if you just lean. I used to lean when I did this, trying to lean as far forward as I could to get the stretch. It's just a different kind of stretch, I guess, but I'm really wanting to stretch that quad, so I find that fighting the knee is much better. And then we're going to do some nice deep lunges. I like to do my lunges pretty much as deep as I can, and you don't want to touch your knee to the ground while you're doing the lunge. But then after that, we're going to bring our knee to the ground and then pull your foot heel to butt again, and then again you're going to fight your body to try to keep yourself as straight as possible here. And then the other side, again, it's about a 10 to 15 second on the actual stretches too. All right, and then heel to butt again. Trying to keep your body as straight as possible. It's a really good stretch. All right. So here it's going to be just bring your leg up to a surface. The higher the surface, the better. I chose this one just because camera, it was easier to see. And then you're going to do 10 toe touches and then 10 seconds with both hands. I actually think I might have done something different there in terms of the amounts, but I would say 10 toe touches and then try to grab your toe, or your really want to try to grab the ball of your foot if you can. And then just 10 seconds trying to pull yourself as deep as you can. I have a pretty stiff back personally, so a lot of these stretches tend to be quite difficult for me. All right, and then these are a good mobility exercise to sort of open up your hips. It's good for Muay Thai. So I'm bringing my knees up as high as I can, and then I'm turning the knee over, trying to open up my hips, and then bring back to neutral. All right, and here's another one to help get that flexibility and open up your hips. You're just going to bring your knees as high as you can to the side. You're really trying to elbow yourself in the shoulder or past that if you can. Yep, just another good one. Now we're going to swing our legs out. This one you want to make sure that your stationary foot is rotated over, like how you would do when you throw a kick. And then you're going to bring the other foot up as high as you can. Then we're going to hold it after 10, and you're sort of going to pulse your foot for 10, and then we're going to kick 10 times. And then after that, we're going to switch to the other side. This one, if you do it right and you get a nice deep stretch with it, you'll really feel it in your glutes after. Like your glutes will almost be throbbing afterwards. And there's a few other variations of this or progressions that you can do. I'd highly recommend checking out a guy named Gabriel Varga. He's a professional kickboxer. He has a lot of great advice. That's where I actually got this exercise from. And if you can do that without holding on to something, all the better. I just find that I don't have quite the balance to do that yet. Then I'm just rolling out my wrists again. Part of this is just trying to loosen up the wrap a little bit because I wanted it to be tight, but it was just a little bit tighter than I'd like. And I also hurt my wrist. So here, what you're doing is you're just trying to pull your hand. You really want to feel a nice forearm stretch here. And we're going to do the other side as well. But yeah, I hurt my wrists, like both of them. You'll actually see in this footage, I think I ended up stuffing my wrist at some point. My right wrist, my rear hand, wasn't good, but I'm suffering for it currently and trying to recover. Right, now you're going to make a bridge, and the goal here is to really push your heels to the floor as you do this. So you're going to drive your hands through the floor and push backward, trying to drive your heels down. And then we're going to arch our backs. You really want to try to push your glutes inward, so you're trying to get your pelvis to the floor here, and then you want to look up and try to keep your back and shoulders nice and straight. And this one, you're going to tuck your knees and basically go into sort of a semi-fetal position and drive your butt into your heels. Looking down actually helps activate that back stretch there too. And then this one's a nice lat stretch here. I believe it's called the downward dog. Not a yoga expert, so please correct me in the comments if you know. But it's a really nice lat stretch. The further out you can bring your arms and the lower you can get your chest to the ground, the better. And I'm not sure what these are called, but it's just a nice little mobility routine exercise. So you're basically just trying to bring your shoulder as close to the ground as possible here and reach through your arm, but you don't really want to touch the floor here. So I'm not actually, it might look like I'm touching the floor, I get pretty low, but I'm actually not touching the floor with my arm at all. If you find this to be easy to do, then good news, you're probably in a decent shape. And then here I'm doing, the real focus here is the driving of the heel to the sky, but I find that it's a little too easy for me, so I add in the alternating arms, and I try not to touch either appendage that's in the air, the activated limbs, to the ground for the duration of the exercise. Really like working on, your ab stability and that additional flexion. I guess. I don't know. I don't know the technical stuff. I'm going to be honest. And then you're going to bring your knee up. You're going to do a super deep lunge here. This is a really great stretch. And then I'm going to bring my elbows to the ground after about 10 seconds. This is probably going to be pretty difficult for most people. Then you're going to hold this for 10 seconds. You're really trying to drive your legs to spread. And then you're going to reach to the sky there. You're going to do about 5 of them, I believe. Five to 10 of these, however you're feeling. These can be quite difficult because this position is pretty difficult to hold, but I assure you it's going to make you feel great. And then you're going to bring your heel across and you're going to try to drive your pelvis into the floor. Really making sure that your entire shin from your ankle to your knee is on the floor. And then you're basically just driving forward, trying to get your pelvis to the floor. then we're going to go switch to the other side here. So maybe we'll give you a better view of what's happening. And if you need to, when you're in this upright position, you can kind of rock your hips to sort of sink deeper and deeper, getting a deeper stretch. And again to the sky. I believe it's 5, it's 2, 3, 4. I believe that's 5. These you don't really want to go fast on. You want to make sure you're getting a nice, slow, controlled stretch here. And then again, bringing that heel down, knee down, basically that whole shin, and just trying to drive your pelvis into the floor. A lot of these stretches are focused on opening up your hips. That's because in Muay Thai and other kickboxing style sports, you really want flexible hips. You want to be able to bring those legs up on command. So now we're going to do butterflies. For these, you really want to be about 15 to 30 seconds. Make sure your back is pretty upright when you do these, and then just try to focus on driving your knees to the ground. If you need to, you can actually take your elbows and dig them into your quads and then really get a deeper stretch there. But I find that I have pretty decent control, so I can just sort of force my legs. I don't need the additional elbow push. And then these, I believe they're called 90-90 stretch. And what you're basically doing is making two 90-degree angles with your knees as you rotate over. If you have the balance and hip rotation for it, you can actually do this without your hands as well. Personally, I find whenever I do it without my hands, I kind of move forward. So I just prefer to keep my hands planted to the ground. And you can actually see here, the reason I'm on my fists and not flat on my hands is because my wrist is hurting. In hindsight, I probably should have just taken more time because my wrist still hurts, and it's been like a week and a half since I've actually recorded this footage. All right, and then we're going to do foot over knee, and then you're going to just bring your knee to your chest, basically trying to kiss your knee. It's kind of what it looks like when you do this, and that's going to be a good, nice, deep glute stretch. Switch to the other side. Again, about 10 to 15 seconds on each of these. All right, now we're going to lay on our backs. I like to just sort of let my back decompress for a minute in this position once I get to this part. Again, if you don't have a really bad back, you're not going to really need to do that. And then we're going to lay flat, and I believe we're going to bring our knees to our chest here. Yep. Make sure when you do this, you're not sort of throwing your knees up either. I like to bring my knees nice and controlled. That way I get a little bit of ab activation in the stretch, and I'm not just sort of throwing my knees into it. If there was a weird cut there, by the way, my phone battery is dying, so I paused it for a moment. I apologize. I guess I'll find out in the editing if I need to just cut that or not. All right, and now we're going to bring our pelvis to the sky. Here, these hip thrusts, you really don't want to overextend your hips. You're not trying to push past your torso. You're just trying to bring your body to like a flat angle, basically. So we're trying to make your body a 180-degree angle from your head to your knees, if that makes sense. It's flat. You're not trying to arch your back. A lot of people confuse that. All right, now we're going to get a nice deep stretch. I call these the Goku stretch. I don't know what I think it's like Cossack squat maybe. But I just like to call it the Goku stretch because it always reminds me of what Goku from Dragon Ball would do, which is fitting because I'm actually wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt in this footage. I forgot about that. But you're going to do 10 seconds on each side, and then we're going to kind of walk our hands back and forth about 10 times or so, really trying to bring that stretch as deep as possible. I tend to struggle with this a bit because I really feel it like in my knee. Whatever the tendons are there, it gets super tight in my knees. And now we're going to do a super wide. I don't really know what this would be called. But basically you're going to just bring your legs as far out as possible and then just try to pull your body to the ground. I'm essentially trying to bring my head to the ground. Not quite flexible enough here, but I still find it to be a really good stretch. And I do this for about 30 seconds. You're going to find that you're really tight after, so make sure you walk your hands out and really unlock your knees before trying to step up because you could injure yourself. And there I just like to get a little bit of a toe touch to make sure that I'm nice and flexible. Then we're just going to loosen out a bit. And now we're going to get into the rounds. So round one here, I'm just going to do about 5 minutes. So it's 5-minute rounds. First round is going to be some shadow boxing. And then we're going to get into, I think it's just like a freestyle round on the bag. Next is knees and elbows only, and then kicks only. And then the last round is boxing only. At the end of the footage, you'll see I thought there was an extra round. So I was waiting for that to happen, but it never came. All right, and here we're getting into the shadow boxing, and I'm just going to kind of be quiet for pretty much the rest of the video. Hope you enjoyed, and follow along if you like. Let me know how you think my form is and all that good stuff, and yeah, enjoy the video.
Oh, fuck. Oh. Whew. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Woo. Ah. Ah. Whoa. Woo. And that's why you don't miss, kids. Whoo, wait. That hurt. That's hard to tell. I really need a better floor. Anyone has any tips about these mats? I would appreciate it. Fuck you, timer. Normally I pause my timer and restart it, but because I'm filming, I can't film and mess with the timer at the same time. Oh. Technical error, sorry. Apologies to all watching. Probably just gonna edit this part out.
No,
Okay.
we're not going to edit this part out. It was hilarious.
Oh my god. Ouch. Yep. Okay. Oh. Actually, yeah, it's the end. I did it. If I already known that was the end, I would have went harder. Woo. All right. Well, I think that's the end of the video. Sorry about the technical error. That's the longest I've actually hit the bag since I've gotten it. So, didn't know it would rock that much off the pads. Originally I wasn't using the pads at all, but it was sliding around way too much, so I put the pad on and it works really well. But as you can see, it's not the best. Hopefully you enjoyed that workout, and look forward to more to come. All right, thank you. Goodbye. Yeah.